Hey, welcome. Do you ever feel like you're just trying to keep up with a world that's always changing? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden forces that shape our societies. We're talking about an invisible blueprint that connects everything: the past, the present, and yeah, even the future. Let's dive in.
It's easy to think that way, right? In school, we learn about all these different wars, inventions, and leaders, and it can just feel like one disconnected thing after another. Kind of like a chaotic list of dates and names. But what if there's something more going on? A deeper pattern underneath it all? What if history isn't random at all? What if it's more like this giant, complex fabric where every single thread is connected to every other thread? That's what we're exploring today. We're going to give you a framework to see exactly that, to understand the hidden forces that weave our world together. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the two big forces that are always at play. Then we'll look at the three engines that really drive change. After that, we'll get into why this all matters and how you can actually use this new way of seeing things yourself. Okay, first up, the two forces. Let's dig into the fundamental push and pull that shapes how different societies, well, get along or don't. So here's the first big idea you've got to grasp. No society is an island. It just doesn't work that way. Whether it's for trade, resources, or just basic security, groups of people have always had to rely on each other. This interdependence, it's the thing that forces us all to interact. And that interaction really boils down to two main forms. On one side, you've got conflict. That's the force of division. We're talking wars, fighting over land, or social unrest between different racial or religious groups. But on the other side, you've got cooperation. That's the force of connection. Things like trade deals, cultural exchanges, and diplomacy that bring those very same groups together. These two forces are in a constant, fascinating dance all throughout history. So if conflict and cooperation are the push and the pull, what's the gas in the tank? What actually makes the whole system lurch forward? Well, that brings us to the three powerful engines that fuel societal change. These are the real catalysts. It's all about how we share ideas, how we move people and stuff around, and how we build our economies. Whenever one of these engines gets a major upgrade, society transforms, sometimes overnight. I mean, just look at this timeline. You can literally see the world shrinking. The printing press, that allowed ideas, like the ones that sparked the Protestant Reformation, to leap across borders and challenge established religious authorities for the first time on a massive scale. Now fast forward to the internet. An idea can circle the entire globe in a split second. This communication engine connects us in ways we're still trying to understand.
And then there's the second engine: physical movement. When steamships and railroads came along, they did way more than just make travel faster. They unleashed these huge waves of migration, like people from Ireland moving to the US in the 1840s, and they carved out totally new trade routes. Suddenly, different cultures, languages, and religions were mixing and mingling in ways that were just impossible before. It's wild how one invention can completely redraw the human map. And finally, we have the economic engine. I mean, the hunt for new markets and resources. Just think about something like the ancient Silk Road that has always pushed societies to interact. Now, it led to incredible cooperation, spreading goods and art and new technologies across continents. But as we all know, it's also been a massive source of conflict and exploitation. It is a powerful, powerful double-edged sword. Okay, so we've got these forces and these engines. Cool. But so what? Why does looking at history this way actually matter in our lives today? Let's connect the dots here. Using this framework helps us move beyond just memorizing a bunch of facts. It lets us see the big picture. Instead of seeing one event totally isolated, we can start to see the complex web of causes behind it. And this is so important for developing what you might call civic empathy, the ability to understand why different groups, whether they're defined by race, religion, or nationality, see the world the way they do. It's all based on the unique historical forces that have shaped their journey. And that, right there, is the real goal. This isn't just about being a history buff. It's about building the skills to navigate the world we live in right now. Knowing these patterns gives you an amazing toolkit for thinking critically about the complex issues we're all facing today. All right, we've unpacked the forces and the engines. Now comes the fun part. Let's talk about putting your new lens to work. Because this framework, it's not just for historians. It's for every single one of us. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The next time you're scrolling through headlines or watching the news, just ask yourself this: which forces are at play here? Is it conflict or is it cooperation? And which engines are driving this story? Is it communication, transportation, or economics?
It's a simple set of questions, but trust me, it can completely change how you see the world. Thanks for tuning in.